Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is the first part of a three-part series focused on how to empower your business by working with a Microsoft CSP. My name is Bob Secord, and I'll be running through the content today and for the next pieces of these of this series. Really today, what we're going to be focused on is a high level, what is a Microsoft CSP and how can you leverage one in your business? The world of Microsoft licensing and agreements can be a little bit complex, and the aim of this webinar series is to help you navigate through that. There is no one size fits all with any of these programs and any of the benefits that we're talking about today, but the intent is to educate and help you navigate your way through your Microsoft investment. So with that, I will go ahead and get it kicked off here, really starting with what is a Microsoft CSP. So when we look at Microsoft licensing, there's a lot of complexity inherently within the licensing programs. Not only do you have to understand what licenses make the most sense for your individual users, but what's the best way to purchase those. There's also some complexity around commitment terms, and does it make sense for me as a business owner or a business leader to commit to a multi-year investment with Microsoft. For some scenarios, there absolutely is, that absolutely does make sense, but that does not make sense for everybody. There is also the need for organizations to have operational and technical support. When you purchase Microsoft licenses or procure an Azure subscription, there is no support aspect built into those contracts. So that is another need. And also when you're looking at driving your business forward and innovating into new areas, that's something that a lot of organizations struggle with. There's also the need for taking advantage of all of your license entitlements. So back to the licensing complexity scenario, the Microsoft licensing outlay can be complex, and understanding really what you are entitled to receive is difficult for a lot of organizations. So what Microsoft has really done over the past number of years is created what they call their Microsoft CSP program. CSP stands for Cloud Solution Provider, and really that is meant for organizations that are looking for flexibility, support, technical expertise to help drive their business forward. The CSP program allows organizations to work with expert partners in their field to support your unique needs. There are a few different models in the CSP program for you to be aware of. There is what's known as a direct provider and an indirect provider. So a direct partner really is there to be that one-stop shop for you. They provide support and billing directly to end customers. So there is one partner to go to for all of support plus billing questions as well. In the indirect provider model, that is where a larger organization provides licenses to individual partners. So think of it more like a resell model where there are large indirect providers providing licenses and services to other partners. When it comes to looking at what's available to you through the CSP program, you do have access to the full suite of Microsoft 365 and Azure products, and you are also entitled to additional support as well. So when it comes to billing and support, the CSP partner owns billing and technical support for your Azure and M365 environment, but oftentimes there are value-add services that are provided by CSP partners, which we'll get into here in a little bit. When it comes to commitment terms, there are no commitments on the Azure side from a financial perspective. And then there are monthly billing installments with that. When it comes to the Microsoft NCE, which are those modern workplace licenses, there is flexibility that is provided from a monthly or annual payment perspective. So you do have that flexibility, which gives you the ability to scale up and down when needed. One very common use case that we see for organizations coming through CSP is flexing up and down with licensing during seasonal businesses or burst capability as well. So there are multiple different ways to purchase Microsoft licenses, and I've outlaid a few of the most common here up at, on this slide. I will say that there is no one model that fits every organization. The best thing to do is, if you are looking at either one of these or any of the three, is reach out to your Microsoft account rep. Or us at CoreTech, and we can help you navigate through. There are unique advantages to each that may fit your organization. So be sure to vet out all of these that we're looking at. The three main models that the majority of customers go through when they are purchasing licenses or Azure subscriptions are CSP, which we've talked a little bit about. There's also the enterprise agreement, which has been around with Microsoft for a while. And then there's also the pay-as-you-go model. So the pay-as-you-go model is purchasing directly from Microsoft, but leveraging a credit card to do that purchasing. When it comes to contract length, on the CSP side, there's annual and monthly options available. With an EA, you are locked into a term. Most often that is a 3-year term with financial commitments associated to it. And then on the pay-as-you-go side, there is month-to-month capabilities there. When you look at technical support for your organization, so think of circumstances when there is a technical issue with your Azure or Microsoft 365 licenses. There's a few different models for those. In the CSP side, that is all through the partner. So partners provide a support agreement to their customers, whether that's advanced support for partners or premier support for partners. And then there's also the ability to tack on additional managed services to that as well to help augment some of your staff. On the EA and pay-as-you-go side, there are support agreements available for purchase directly from Microsoft. For more information there, I would suggest reaching out to your Microsoft account rep to help get more specifics with that. When you look at financial commitment on the CSP side, there is no Azure commitment, which organizations often like to go with because of that no commitment side. On the EA side, there is a Azure and a Microsoft 365 commitment component. And then on the pay-as-you-go, there is no Azure commitment as well. When you look at payment options, there is some flexibility that CSP provides. You do have annual or monthly options available for both your licenses and your Azure subscriptions. With EA, those are most often upfront payments with annual true-ups. And then pay-as-you-go, you do have the monthly subscription option as well. When you look at terms as well, there's month-to-month on the Azure side. So you are only committed to a single month with an Azure CSP. And then there are flexible terms with licenses as well. So there is month-to-month licenses to afford some of that flexibility, scaling up and down. And then there is annual licenses as well, which provide some cost benefits and other things as well. The EA, again, that is a 3-year term with those financial commitments. So you are locked in for those 3 years. There are annual true-ups available with that, though, as well. The pay-as-you-go side, again, there's the month-to-month with flexible license terms. The last row here is really about scalability. So how do each one of these programs work with you as you grow? CSP does provide some of that inherent scalability with the option to flex up or flex down. On the EA side, there is you are locked in for a longer term, but there are some benefits to that if you are predicting growth over the next few years in your organization. The pay-as-you-go model does not provide as much flexibility as either one of these options. So when we look at CSP program benefits and really where does it make sense for you to partner with the CSP for purchasing your Azure and M365 licenses? There are a few key areas to really think about. The first one is that flexibility. So with CSP, there is no Azure commitment and no upfront payments, which is a huge benefit to leveraging a CSP. There's also the ability to change partners as well. So one of the key components with the CSP that I'll talk about here in a little bit are the value add services that CSPs can provide. So Microsoft has made it really easy to move partners if you see fit. Maybe it doesn't make sense for your business to partner with a CSP today and you'd like to transition over to a new one. A lot of that can be done all on the back end by Microsoft, which really is a great benefit. There's also in-place license upgrades available as well. So if you are looking at moving from maybe the Office 365 suite to the Microsoft 365 suite, you have the ability to upgrade your users to those licenses without any downtime or really very much administrative burden on your side. So oftentimes we see customers take advantage of things like that. And then there's also the scalability that I mentioned a few moments ago. So being able to flex up and down with licenses depending on the term that you choose is a great value add and benefit to the CSP program. The other main benefit that we've seen with CSP is the strategic partnership side. So the thinking behind CSP is how do you work with an organization that's really there to support your digital transformation? And that's what CSPs are really there to do. You have a single support channel for technical and billing questions. So you know who to reach out to if you do have a technical bug or something you need help with, and a billing question as well that is all gone through the CSP. And then CSPs often provide value-added services as well. So the CSP landscape has really evolved over the past number of years, and there are more CSPs that are adding additional services to better support their program overall. We'll talk about a little bit of what CoreTech does here in a little bit, but most CSPs do have some of those value-add services. The third piece here is managed services. So CSPs do oftentimes offer a managed services package to you. Most often it's customizable to fit your organization's needs, but that is a key benefit and something we see a lot of organizations taking advantage of. The last piece here is around management needs. So some of the administrative burden is really removed when you work with a CSP partner. I mentioned a few times the single point of contact for your Microsoft Cloud investment, but you really know who to reach out to when you're looking at having billing or technical questions. CSPs also manage a lot of the billing and administration for your Azure and M365 environment. So they're there to help you with license purchases and things like that. The last piece is you still retain full administrative access to your environment. So there is some thought out there that when you work with the CSP that you get removed from having admin rights within your environment, and that should not be the case at all. You will have full access to your environment. It is your environment at the end of the day. And that is something that you should not lose as you work with a CSP. So moving on a little bit to Cortec CSP approach, I would like to start off by just talking a little bit about Cortec, who we are and what we do. So we are an Azure expert MSP that was really built within Azure and modern workplace. We have a number of different solutions and offerings that we provide our customers, including things around AI development, which I'll talk about in one of the upcoming webinars. We also do a lot of Azure Virtual Desktop and 365 E5 security and compliance work for organizations as well. We also have a full security practice. All of these things are integrated with our CSP program to really make sure that we are providing our customers with as much value as possible. A few of the key differentiators on the right side of the screen here. Cortec Insights is an in-house cloud management platform that we built for our customers. In the next webinar, I'll be doing a demo of Insights to give more information on that, but that is a value add tool that's available to our CSP customers at no extra cost. We are a member of the Azure Expert MSP program, something that we are very proud about. And then we also have, like I mentioned, the security and compliance focus with a deep bench of consultants. But back to the CSP side, when we really look at what our CSP program entails, it's a lot of what we have on the screen here. So I went over a little bit of what we are, or who we are at Cortec and what we do on the previous slide. And our CSP program is an integral part of what we do for our customers. So being a direct CSP means that we have a lot of flexibility to give our customers whatever service, products and services that we see fit to help drive value. So we do offer Microsoft Premier Support escalations with managed services, Cortec Insights as well, and then also our CSP program and security practice, which I'll talk about a little bit more on the next slide. But managed services is a key component for us here at Cortec. And when we look at what's really included for our CSP customers, that is what's on the screen here. So there's a number of Azure and Modern Work advisory services that are available to customers as a value add of being a part of Cortec CSP. And another key area that we really focus on with customers is cost optimization. So a lot of organizations are looking for efficiencies in their cloud spend, whether that's just to solely reduce cost, or maybe it's looking at how do you get a little bit your cost per unit down for a specific cost center. And that's something that we really focus on here at Cortec. The other item is technical and operational support. So we do offer flexible and customizable managed support to really meet your needs. Our aim at Cortec is to be your one single partner for your entire Microsoft investment. And to do that, we offer a host of different Azure, Modern Workplace, and security service to help you meet your needs. Cortec Insights is our self-service cloud management platform that we built here for customers. There's a few key components that I'll dive into in a slide here in a second, but that is available as a value add to our CSP program. We do have Microsoft Premier Support escalations. So when there are technical bugs or issues that need to be resolved, we do have the ability to escalate to Microsoft Premier Support for partners, which provides us some advanced capabilities there. As a direct CSP, you are not committed to any Azure consumption when you work with Cortec. You are only paying for what you use with no commitment necessary. Prioritize consulting services. When you do partner with Cortec CSP, Your services are prioritized from a consulting perspective. And then the last piece is the monthly CSA program. I'll talk about that a little bit more on the next slide, but this is really kind of the 8 core pieces of working with CoreTech and our CSP. So I mentioned the CSA program a moment ago, but the CoreTech CSA, or Cloud Solution Architect program, is really meant to be our way of helping you drive your business forward. So there's a few key areas that we really focus on with customers, but the intent is how do we be your trusted advisor and help you meet your organization's needs? So there's different things that we do with customers, but the intent is a monthly 45-minute meeting with one of our cloud solution architects here at CoreTech that really understands your business and helps you with a number of different things like Azure architecture review. So looking at how are things architected within your environment today, and where do you want to go with that in the future? Cloud strategy development. So really looking at different business objectives with you and helping you define goals or challenges along the way. Cost optimization is something that I've mentioned a few times, but something that we really help customers with, and we feel it is a great area for us to work together on. There's also other items that are included in the CSA program, like security, business continuity, disaster recovery, DevOps, and automation that we can help you with as well through this. The CSA program is a value add to our customers, and what that means is there is no cost to the program directly to you. This next slide here really talks a little bit about insights. In one of the upcoming webinars, I will be doing a demo of the portal, but there's a number of different things that you can do with insights, looking at financial components, chargebacks, showbacks. There's also different dashboards to provide you things like security, governance, and visibility, as well as some automation, so to help you deploy things in an automated manner within your Azure environment. When we look at different Azure managed services that are available through CoreTech, there's a lot of different things that we do to help customers better mature their IT environment. And this slide really gives a high level overview of that. There are a number of different industry leading products and partners that we work with to really help our customers mature their IT environment. So to recap a little bit of what we've talked about today, CSP is a great option for organizations looking for a single partner dedicated to your success. When you want access to full suite Azure and modern work products, if you're looking for no Azure commitment and flexible terms that fit your needs, and CSP provides technical and operational support for your Microsoft investment. So with that, I will wrap up here. Just a reminder, there are 2 more webinars in this series focused around streamlining operations and future-proofing your business. If there are any additional questions, please reach out to inquiry@coretech.com. Thank you for your time, and I hope this was valuable for you. Thank you.